Okay, we're unmuted. We're good. Hi, everyone. Welcome in. Okay, we're unmuted.
Howdy.
Why can I hear myself? Do I have an... Oh my god, stream is so scuffed.
It wouldn't be a
Amazing.
keffals stream if it wasn't scuffed.
I
You're so good at this.
am so good at this.
Professional streamer. By the way,
Okay,
chat.
okay. So, just as I'm starting the stream, I found out that Mudahar is planning to epically expose me. I just, literally, I just saw this.
It's like a pre-stream gift that you received while you were
I,
prepping.
right? Like, over 2 years ago, an infamous creator known as Keffals launched a viral campaign on the internet. As I research more about this event and her, I've come across disturbing revelations of her Catboy Ranch. Can't go too into detail, but it's an insane story and none of it is pleasant.
Oh
Pleasant.
my god.
This shit is...
Trigger warning, unpleasant.
It's just ridiculous.
That's it. It's Jofer for you, Clara. I don't know what you're gonna do.
Yeah, rips.
There was a tweet. Wait, the H3 subreddit has like more than 2,000 upvoted posts about my Catboy Ranch, where they unironically say that I was giving collars to minors with GPS tracking chips.
Wow.
It's like it's getting into QAnon shit.
Jeez.
Incredible.
Hipster.
By the way, chat's saying that we're a little quiet.
You're a little quiet? Okay. How do I fix that?
I don't know. You're the professional streamer.
I'm not.
Streamer,
I'm
yeah.
really bad at that. I can turn my own audio down. That might work.
You could turn your own audio down, but not ours up.
Yeah.
You're incredible.
I'm pretty good at it.
Dear Lord.
It's fucking wild having to relitigate this all over again. Because it was
Yeah, because
yeah,
I
I
remember
mean,
like
it's-
seeing your coverage on this before, and it's like I remember like some of the
I don't give a fuck what
screenshots that
anyone
were
says.
allegedly of
Keffals
the
is
server
fun.
weren't even for the same server. It was like a completely different server or
it's
some shit.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
The thing that gets me is that this all started because Clara was fighting with people because she hated Lolly.
Yeah,
so
that's
she was
it.
fighting with Lolly. The whole thing was because Lollicons hated her for calling them pedophiles. That was how this all started, and it's like it's all converging, and no one seems
It's
to
come full
understand.
circle.
I know, it's insane because I started calling them pedophiles because they're pedophiles. And as a response to that, they decided to make up this entire story about how I'm actually the real pedophile. Because that's what they do. Lollicons love to do that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they're like, hey, why are you so obsessed with calling pedophiles? That's pretty suspicious. You must be a pedophile. And it's like, I'm sorry, that deflection's not going to work this time. You have drawings
Jesus.
of
God, I
kids,
fucking
man.
hate
That's not
Polly
going to
so
work.
much.
Oh man, it's nuts. But whatever.
Yeah. So, today, obviously a lot to cover. Ethan Klein and the H3 crew reacted to my most recent video. The 2Mad stuff, there's so many layers to that. I don't even know where to fucking begin. And I have no idea what's going on with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that either. So like when
Oh,
a
I'm
refills
so
us in on that
excited.
one, that's gonna
Yeah,
be
but
fun.
we got a whole show planned
Update
today.
you on that. Yeah.
Before I get into the Ethan stuff, I want to cover a bunch of other stuff that's going on. I should probably screen share to make that easier.
Yeah.
Let
me see. Alrighty.
Okay. I guess the first thing is that we got condemned by Ryan Beard.
Oh, I heard about this.
I have given Keffals way too many chances at good faith and trying to be charitable towards her, but after the video she released today, the only conclusion I can draw is she's a blatant intentional liar. I'm done associating with her, tipster or Vosh. And I'm just... I'm not really disappointed. Like, I always think... Like, I actually... Ellen DeGenerate was shit-talking Ryan in my replies. And I said, come
I
on,
don't
be
give a
nice.
fuck
I
what
like
anyone
Ryan.
says. Keffals is fun.
And then following that, I was going to post this because Ellen said I have many reasons not to like Ryan, and I was gonna say, well, I like him now, but I absolutely don't trust him and think he's going to stab me in the back when it's convenient. But I decided not to because I thought it would instigate it. And then the next fucking day,
Your spidey sense was tingling.
it's just
Oh man,
it was so obvious. He's done
I think
this
it's
like
funny-
5 times.
I think it's funny that he says he's done associating with. I don't know. I can't speak for you or Vosh, but like, when did I ever associate with Ryan Beard? We've had like maybe 2 or 3 conversations in total.
I have no idea.
The funny thing is, like,
It's
the other night on my
thing is to, like,
stream,
lump all of you together, right? Like, and so even though you're all like 3 different people, like the rhetorical move is to be like, oh yeah, Keffals tipster Vosh, Keffals tipster Vosh. It's like an amalgam that we all like condemn. So it's easy that way.
I think it's funny that, like, I mean, obviously I went to bat for Vosh with like the recent stuff, but like prior to last night, Vosh and I have never directly communicated ever. So it's like funny that I get like so tied to like Vosh in this way when it's like, yeah, he barely knew I existed prior to any of this shit.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not confident he knows you exist now, if I'm being completely.
I mean, yeah, we literally had a conversation last night, so a brief one, but yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
I don't know. Welcome to the circle of people where it's really profitable to hate.
yeah,
You can make
true,
people's
true.
careers.
Nice. Well, congratulations, everybody. Milk the content all you want. I get it. I know the content grind. I know how this works.
Yeah, it was like Nicholas DeOrio had his best viewership ever in a stream that was just dunking on you. I mean, I
Yeah.
was there. I'm your friend. I was there. I wanted to watch him cook a bit.
I think
Yeah,
what's
I mean,
funny about
you
like
were,
this.
you were enabling him to cook, right? You were like donating, making sure that
I
we
d-
get
I-
as much people out there.
I was doing my part.
Yeah.
I think what's funny about this like Ryan Beard tweet is during my stream he like, yo, I have like this really bad clip of like Vosh. I'm paraphrasing obviously, but it was something like, I think you should really see this. And so I was like, all right, send me the clip and I'll take a look at it after the stream. And I did, but like it was a drama alert clip. And it was clip chimped just like all the other shit about Vosh going around. It's like, come on, bro. You expect me to take you seriously when you're sending me a clip from fucking Drama Alert?
Okay. Speaking of that,
For the YouTube
Bad Empanada has been real fucking mad at me recently. So we just put out this video. Keffals admits her pedophilia.
What?
It's 2 minutes,
Quite the title.
49 seconds.
You really shouldn't have done that. I mean, if I were to give you advice, it would have been to do not that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I should have probably thought about that one.
Oh no.
Keffals, who has been
Does the audio work over the screen share?
Yeah, we can hear it.
Cool. Okay.
enthusiastically defending Vosh, another YouTuber who was recently outed for being a pedophile who has lolly porn, aka drawn child porn, on his computer, has decided to engage in clear and obvious defamation against me, making a video where she includes false screenshots that insinuate
Okay. It's really funny because I honestly don't know which are real and which are not because he said so much insane stuff. Like,
Yeah. Well, like I remember seeing his tweets suggesting / directly threatening terrorism in the United States, right? Like I know those are real, and that got an account banned, and also evidently he got investigated by Argentina. I don't know what that story is, but like those are real. Whether or not these specific ones are that, I have no idea. But like, you can't just be like, hey, I think that we should take a look at, you know, areas with high concentration that a lot of people travel to and from in a confined space and do something about it. And then in the next tweet, post a picture of a subway and not like, hey, man, that's effed up. Like, that's going to get you investigated.
He's on like his 12th account or something.
I would have guessed it was more than that. Like he's been banned like so many times just in the period that you've made me aware of him. Like it's fucking nuts.
Yeah, he doxed someone named Slazik recently. over Twitter beef. He's like a fucking like Swiftie for China. It's weird.
Yeah, that's really insane.
Like I've fought with a lot of people. Taylor Swift fans scare me more than Kiwi Farms. They are insane. I will never say anything bad about Taylor Swift. She's a goddess.
Oh my god. Dog. It's so much, man. It's so much.
Pedophile in a video where she tries to claim incessantly that it's wrong to falsely accuse people of being pedophile.
Yeah. I mean, do we want to talk about Taylor Swift real quick, or do we want to continue down this line?
Sure. Let's.
Yeah. Okay.
What's been going on with Taylor Swift?
Okay, yeah. So, hi, I cover football for a living, which means, of course, I'm talking about Taylor Swift right now. It is, yeah. Look, you're just gonna have to deal with that. So there's been like a huge like conspiracy theory about Taylor Swift. The right wing has like latched onto this thing. So, for people who are unaware, American football is very popular in the United States. You don't need to know the rules for this segment to work for you. But Taylor Swift, the most popular, pop star in the world right now. Like, I think she's like 12th all time in album sales. She just passed Beyonce. The only person in the modern era with more album sales than her is like Rihanna, right? Like, she's like huge, right? So, I think the best example of this, and this has been happening for like months now, the best example of this turning into conspiracy was like on Fox News. Jesse Waters blew up a theory that like Taylor Swift was a NATO/Pentagon psyop. This is on Fox News. That she is an inorganic cultural product designed to promote something. Like, it could be, I guess, Democrats. He said, quote unquote, fight misinformation, which I think for a lot of people on the right wing means like vaccines and stuff. So sure, fine, whatever. But like, when you take a look at the way that people online are talking about it, like Laura Loomer or Benny Johnson or Jack Posobiec, I think is how you pronounce his name. They like, first of all, they like clearly don't know very much about football, which I feel like runs very counter to like the understanding we had of like the modern conservative like 10 years ago. But like, they're really kind of like revealing how little they know about this stuff, right? So Benny Johnson, said like, Travis Kelce is this guy. Travis Kelce is the one that's dating Taylor Swift, by the way. Travis Kelce is this guy who out of the blue became a big time celebrity, really rich, really powerful. Why? He's a tight end. He's a glorified lineman. That doesn't make any sense. Tight ends aren't famous people in football. And, for anyone that doesn't follow football, that's like a batshit insane thing to say. I mean, tight ends haven't been glorified offensive linemen or whatever since like the 1970s. One of the most famous non-quarterbacks in football is like Rob Gronkowski. It's Gronk. That's what Baby Gronk is named after, right? That's who Livy is rizzing up. It's Baby Gronk. It's named after Rob Gronkowski. Right?
How is Baby Gronk?
It's not important. He's just a child. He's just a child. No, okay, so like Baby Gronk is just like some kid who's like, I guess, decent at like 7-year-old football, and his dad was just exploiting him for like Instagram views, and like brought him to LSU, where Olivia Dunn, a gymnast at LSU, I guess they had like a photo opportunity, and then like his dad like tweeted out a bunch of stuff about how they're together and how his kid is committed to LSU, which, by the way, you can't do. Like, it's against the college football rules to sign a commit that's like 7 years old. Which, if you know a lot about college football, you would know that was actually a fairly necessary rule, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, Travis Kelce does not like need help being popular, right? Like, he got a lot of help. Taylor Swift is much more popular than him, but like, he was widely regarded as one of the best players at his position for like the past 7 years. He's been recognized as one of the top 2 tight ends in the NFL for each of the past 8 consecutive years. He's made the first or second team All-Pro squad. He's made the NFL All-Decade team at the position. He's been the leading receiver for the top offense in football for the last 3 years, despite not playing wide receiver. He is so fucking good. Like, it's crazy. He might be like the 3rd best tight end in history. It's nuts how people are talking about this. So, a lot of like these like the Laura Loomers and the Jack Posobiec's, they're like talking about how Taylor Swift's relationship with Kelce is some sort of like work to try and get viewers to watch the Super Bowl. And for like non-American listeners, I like need to explain how stupid that is.
Yeah.
If you, yeah, right. If
I'm
you,
not okay. Look it, I'm not even a football guy. Okay, and like, while I didn't watch the last Super Bowl, like I've watched the Super Bowl before because like it's the most popular fucking thing for Americans. Like every fucking year,
yeah, it's nuts.
you
And
have
like,
no trouble getting people to watch the Super Bowl. Okay.
Um, I'm gonna open a little thread in our Discord chat and drop a tweet from End Wokeness. So Clara, you can throw it
Yeah.
on stream if you want.
Wait, which chat? Oh.
It's in our little voice chat. We got a little thread going on the side.
Oh, we do. So we
Yeah.
do. And wokeness.
Look at that. This is good stuff, right? What's happening with Taylor Swift is not organic and natural. It's an op, and it's just like a picture of Taylor Swift being popular.
Famous people are famous. This is news to them, apparently.
Well, it's just like how news is a conspiracy to them sometimes. I guess being famous is now also a conspiracy, right? Which I'm gonna like. I had a whole thing written out. I'm gonna skip some of it. I'll get back to it. But there's this really funny fucking article that I just really need to tell you about. It's from The Blaze. The title is "Sure, the left has Taylor Swift, but we have cat turd."
I saw
What? No.
I saw
That's
that.
real? Real.
Yes.
And it's not ironic. That is a genuine like he believes this thing, that it's like a good thing that we have cat turd, right? Like
I don't give a fuck what anyone
Saying,
says.
thank
Keffals is
thank
fun.
God we have someone by
That
the name
seals
of
the
Cat
deal.
Turd.
I'm leaving Catboy Ranch.
this article
I've been a citizen
fucking
since
rules,
1972.
right? So,
Now I
and
am
the
taking
whole,
my
like, the whole
talents to
premise of the
Hawaii, where
article
they
is,
know
like,
how to run a
people can't
country.
relate to Taylor Swift, which of course means you don't know anything about Taylor Swift. The whole reason that she's popular is because people relate to her music, right? But like the whole premise is that like Cat Turd, I guess, was a hippie in the set. He was on Rush, or no, he wasn't on Rush. Rush is dead, thank God. He was on like some radio interview, or maybe he's talking to Tucker, where he's talking about how he used to be a hippie, but when he went to his construction job, he would listen to Rush every day, and that's how he realized he wasn't on the left. A totally real story that definitely happened. Anyway, like this article, like this guy clearly just doesn't like watch football, because like in the opening paragraphs he says that he became a fan of the Ravens when he saw that their head coach praised God, which is something like every head coach and basically every player does, like all the time. You can't escape it. Like if you're like, I'm in football spaces, right? They have something they call the 3 Fs: faith, family, football, and it's supposed to be in that order. Casinos have like a prop bet for who the Super Bowl MVP will thank first in their speech, and God is every year one of the 2 odds-on favorites, right? But like next to teammates. And this year again, the Super Bowl MVP, Patrick Mahomes, thanked his teammates and then gave glory to God. It's just like a thing that you do in football, is you thank God. Like that's like the thing, right? But there are like some amazing like paragraphs in this piece, right? So like there's one about transgenderism. So such a heady, yeah, it's beautiful, right? Such a heady combination would draw in a totally new audience to replace the fans that have dwindled because of the NFL's far left end zone messaging and its everything gay promotions, which based. Parenthetical. By the way, can a man who has transitioned soon be part of an NFL squad so that the league can boast of gender inclusivity? I don't know what that sentence means. What does that mean? Does that mean a trans man can compete? And there's no rules about gender in the NFL. If anybody who can play, it's not like a men's league. It's a league, right? So like when they say a man who has transitioned, do they mean that they want that the NFL is going to have like a trans woman, because they're like, they're obviously transphobic. So to them, a man who's transitioned is a trans woman, right? Like, do they mean that person is going to sap their strength by going on HRT and then try to tackle a 260-pound quarterback? Like I have no idea how what their brains are working like on this one. But the comments in the article are like incredible too, right? Like, I think if you scroll all the way down, the top comment, yeah, it's so good. The very first comment.
I stopped watching professional sports 20 years ago. Wait, Is that the top?
Yeah. Yeah. The first comment. I don't care what a bunch of overpaid fill in the blank have to say, just because they pay a game and are millionaires. What is the blank? Is it racist? Like, or what are you trying to say that you can't say in the comments of The Blaze? I don't know. There's other ones like, as Mr. Beck, I assume Glenn Beck, explained so well in his new YouTube video, they're useful Marxist idiots for the global elite.
Taylor Swift?
I find it so funny that they have lost the plot on Marxism so much, right? That now it's like the global elite are Marxists, and like I don't expect them to know that there's like Marxist authors who believe that sports are like the opiate of the masses, right? That they hate sports because it serves the purpose that religion used to serve when Marx was talking about it. Like, fine, whatever. They don't know that, but it is crazy that they're like, yeah, Marxists hate rich people. Also, they're all rich people. I have no clue what's going on in their brains. They're so divorced from reality. But yeah, it's like there's like a bunch of people who are like, I'm not going to watch the game. I don't watch football anymore. And it's like the Super Bowl is the most watched like thing, right? So I was recently on like Western Kabuki to kind of talk about like how popular the Super Bowl is.
Mm-hmm.
If like football doesn't really need that much help, right? So if you look at the most watched American broadcasts of all time, 19 of the top 20 are all Super Bowls, including the entire top 10. The only exception is the series finale of MASH, which ranked 11th. The most watched broadcast of all time before this year's Super Bowl was last year's Super Bowl. Football just does not need help. Yeah,
it's like I said, it's literally the most popular event in like American like culture is watching the Super Bowl. Even people who don't watch football watch the Super Bowl for the ads and the halftime show.
Yeah, like it's like last year's Super Bowl was the most watched broadcast of all time in the United States, followed by the 2015 Super Bowl, followed by the 2022 Super Bowl and 2021 Super Bowl. Like it just gets bigger. It just gets bigger, right? Like and that's not just the Super Bowl. It's all football. In 2023, 93 of the 100 most watched television broadcasts were NFL football. Another 3 were college football. So 96 of those 100 were football. Another one was the show that aired immediately after the Super Bowl, right? So only the State of the Union address and the Thanksgiving Day parade and the Oscars made the top 100. And the highest was the State of the Union address at 21st. Like football just like does not like need help. Like, yeah, Taylor Swift makes the NFL more popular. That's true. But like, football just like doesn't need help. And all these people who are like, I'm not going to watch football anymore. It's like, well, good luck. You're not making a dent. Football is getting more popular like every year. So like why? So like what is the point of this conspiracy, right? It's not just to like make football popular, right? Like there's got to be a point, right? Well, one obviously is that Taylor Swift, I guess, is going to fight misinformation. Okay, fine. What does that mean? So I guess it's to elevate both the profile of Taylor Swift, who definitely does not need help, or the profile of Travis Kelce, who I guess, right? So Travis Kelce was recently seen drinking Bud Light, so that's a huge problem, right? Like you can't just be.
Are they still on about Bud Light?
Yeah, the Bud Light conversation is still very much a thing.
Yeah, it's like less a thing, especially because they like kind of gave up on it for a little bit because like Kid Rock got back to drinking it, I guess, but I guess they don't care about that. But yeah, he's been drinking Bud Light like way back in the past. He used to be a Bud Light sponsor, or Bud Light sponsored him. He was a partner. But yeah, he like drinks Bud Light, I guess, right? Like a lot of people and football players. He also is a spokesperson for Pfizer. So that's like the thing that they're like focusing on right now. He's like, hey, get a flu shot, get a booster. I'm Travis Kelce. That's like the whole deal. And I get that would allow, I guess, the corporate media Democrats to finally swing the tide and get people vaccinated. 81% of Americans have had at least one dose of the COVID vaccine, and 98% of NFL players have. Like, sure, man, Taylor Swift is allowing Travis Kelce to promote the vaccine. Sure. I don't know. But like, the other part is that they want to make the storyline central because Taylor Swift, again, who does not like need help, like she does not need help, right? The NFL will boost her profile so that she could finally denounce Trump and endorse Biden, which, by the way, she already did that. She did that in like 2020 already, right? Like she officially endorsed Joe Biden. She got 35,000 people in 4 days to register to vote, right? Like it's done. She's already done it. She'll do it again. It has nothing to do with football. But they had like this vision of like after the game was over, which of course the game was going to be rigged, which I'm going to drop a Vivek Ramaswamy tweet if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. An actual like Republican candidate was like, oh yeah, I wonder who's going to win the Super Bowl, right? Like what was the tweet? Yeah. I wonder who's going to win the Super Bowl next month, and I wonder if there's a major presidential endorsement coming from an artificially, culturally propped up couple this fall. Just some wild speculation over here. There's like some vision that like after the Super Bowl, that like when Kelsey and Swift would like meet on the field, and they had like a very adorable moment. It was like cute. Like I actually like believe that their relationship is genuine, and I'm like rooting for them. I'm so cynical, but I believe in love now. They're awesome. But like there was this vision where like they would at this on the field at the Super Bowl, like turn around and look directly at a camera and just go, "We endorse Joe Biden." Like that would like happen, right? Like, no. What do you no? What's happening? I have no idea. Well, it didn't happen.
Oh,
so
well, I can still dream. That'd be really, really funny.
It would. I would love it. Actually, so the funniest thing I think is Joe Biden feeding the rumors with his tweet right after the Super Bowl.
Okay, show me that.
You see that? Yeah. Okay. Hold on. It's so good.
That's what that tweet was about?
Yeah, it was about rigging the Super Bowl for Taylor Swift.
I had no idea what this tweet was about. It was like the biggest conspiracy brain tweet ever. It could mean anything.
Wait, what are the community notes? I didn't actually see. Can you scroll down a little bit?
Oh, you haven't seen them? Yeah, because I'm in the program, so I can see them. And what is NNN? I don't know. President Biden trolled MAGA Republicans, poking fun at conspiracy theories with NFL and Taylor Swift after Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
The only NNN I know of is No Nut November. So there was like some super secret racist thing. I don't know.
It's a lot. I don't know what it means. What is?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, NNN means no note needed. They got to come up with a new.
Yeah,
thing.
I was immediately thinking, like, how racist is this? Is this like secret Nazi code? I don't know.
Yeah, right. that's bad. So he drove them insane with this tweet, which rules, and I love it. And there like might be another guy who like sees this tweet and like beheads their father, right? Like it might push somebody over the edge. But it is like very funny. You can see like SDL and a bunch of lefties are like, hey man, there's like a genocide happening right now. And I very much appreciate their energy. They're correct. But like, the tweet is funny. I can't get over the fact that like the tweet is like just funny, right? It's just like, yeah, we definitely rigged the thing, man. You're right, and it rules, and we're gonna do it again. But yeah, so like that's like the whole deal with Swift. The thing that like kind of bothers me is that like there's like a lot of like really legitimate criticisms that you can make of like Taylor Swift, right? And this is like swallowing them whole, right? Like it's sucking up all of the air in the room. And it's like, you know, it's like, for example, her team they're suing the flight tracker guy for the exact same reason that like Elon Musk is. And it's like, this is like public information. Like come on, like it's just like a guy, like suing him when he doesn't have resources is kind of nuts. And then the private jet thing, like that's like, you know, the climate impact of that. Like there's a conversation to be had about that. Like maybe she needs it for security, maybe it's not that big a deal, but maybe it is a huge deal because it is an enormous amount of carbon emissions from a single person or whatever, right? There's like a conversation to be had here, but now you just cannot half. Oh, King George Rook said, didn't she just send him a cease and desist? That is accurate. They threatened a lawsuit. My bad. Thank you for the correction. But yeah, like there's like a conversation to be had there, right? But like now you can't have a conversation about Taylor Swift because it's all being consumed by this, like, is she a Pfizer plant? And I think what's really driving this is like they thought she was gonna be like their thing, right? Like this country girl from Tennessee, blonde hair, blue eyes, all-American sweetheart. They thought she was gonna be like this avatar of conservative values, and in like it just started turning sideways. Like when she transitioned from country to pop, when she started getting involved in politics in like 2018, when she asked like, or she endorsed, I think, 2 local candidates in Tennessee. And then she asked the governor of Tennessee, who was Republican at the time, to not sign into law an anti-trans bill. And it's like they're like freaking out because she's like gradually gone like more woke, right? Like she's woke, and I think it's just like they can't handle the fact that like she's supposed to be theirs and she's not. And then like Travis Kelce is kind of the same way. Like they don't know that much about him, so I guess they feel like they should be betrayed, but they shouldn't. But like this is like the most conservative American thing, right? Like it's the world's biggest pop star is dating like this yokel football player dude who doesn't feel like he has more than a couple of brain cells, and he just yells football a bunch, which in fairness that is kind of how he acts. It just feels like that is what the conservative idea. Like, do you remember that tweet? Look what they took from us, and it's like a college quarterback kissing a cheerleader. It's like
that's what the original image was. I only saw people like memeing with that.
Yeah. Well, it's probably one of the original images, but like that's what it is, right? It's like we're seeing this play out in real life, but they're not conservatives. They're like soft Democrats. But like the thing is, Travis Kelce has been like pretty cool for a while. Like a lot of people like think that he has like no thoughts in his head, which that's the image he presents, so that's fine. But like he was like one of the first white players in the NFL to like kneel with Colin Kaepernick, like way back in 2016. Like he's been cool for a long time. In fact, I think almost all of his previous relationships before Taylor, like have been with non-white people, right? Like it's just something that it's a community he's very familiar with. He's spoken up about this kind of stuff before. He's been pretty cool, but like they are losing their minds, I think, in part because like this idea of like this Pax Americana couple that they've like built up in like these 50s-esque movies is like being ripped away from them. Like I think that's what it is. But like Taylor Swift, man, she's trying to get you the mind control virus.
It feels like every week there's a new conspiracy that I can't fucking keep up with it, and when did it happen? Was it always like this? That it felt like QAnon was just like mainstream? Because I don't remember it always being like this. It feels like it happened sometime in the last 5 years.
Kind of. Well, so I think it's just like it's what we're seeing, because it's not really mainstream in the same. Well, at least the Taylor Swift stuff is not really mainstream in the same sense. I see a bunch of it, and Fox News has been talking about it. But like people have done polls. Like NBC went out and they polled a bunch of Trump supporters, right? Like, hey, is Taylor Swift a psyop? And they're like, absolutely not. No way. Taylor Swift's not a psyop. I hate that she's a Democrat, and Democrats will do anything. They'll steal elections, but she's not a psyop. Like, these are people who already believe that the Democrats tried to steal or did successfully steal the last election, and they're like, nah, Taylor Swift's not a psyop. That's ridiculous. Like, so, you know, I think they're kind of ahead of their skis here, right? Like, I don't think that they're really connecting with their audience on this one. And I feel like the last people you'd make mad are a bunch of Swifties, especially a bunch of Swifties who can like vote, right? Like a lot of them can vote now.
With the Blaze TV article, what it's really telling me is people who they're so plugged into social media and they've stopped consuming anything mainstream that seeing that kind of coordination of mainstream media in the real world just like really upsets them and makes them uncomfortable because it is just so disconnected from their worldview.
Yeah, yeah, and it's gotten to the point where like any level of like logistics at high level, like any logistics that occurs at any level of like mainstream or global is evidence of a conspiracy. Like everybody's working together to make sure the Super Bowl happens, and it's like, yeah, man, they do that every year. It's the Super Bowl. Like it's people coordinating is now the conspiracy, and like over the last 5-10 years. It just feels like the conservatives hate football now. Like someone tweeted out like if you had told me that the libs won football in the Great Woke Culture War, I would not have believed you. Like, yeah, how did we get football? That's crazy. Okay, sure, but they're like, yeah, football is a distraction. It's trying to make it so that you don't see what's happening in like the real world, and the Jews are orchestrating football or whatever. I don't know, man. It's weird, but we have football now. Football is now left wing. So yeah, okay, but yeah, I think you're right. Like they see any level of like coordination and it like immediately their brain pops off, right? It's just like, oh, that's a conspiracy. They're trying to kill Americans. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, man. It's just football.
Interesting.
I wonder what happens when they find out about the Gaylor conspiracy.
I don't know anything about that.
I have no idea.
That she's like secretly gay. Yeah, it's a whole deal.
Oh, okay.
I had to deputize more mods, and also I'm so glad that we paywalled the Discord because it got brigaded after the Muda tweet.
Yeah, of course. Jeez.
Anyway, that's I hope that they enjoyed the Taylor Swift portion of the stream. Thanks for brigading to listen about Travis Kelce.
Yeah, no, I saw someone earlier saying that YouTube chat was melting down about Taylor Swift talk.
Amazing. Fantastic.
No,
I'm happy for them.
Yeah, oh my god.
Well,
This-
so what did we
What?
like? So we left off on like Bad Empanada, right? Like,
Yeah, I never finished the Bad Empanada video.
okay, it's 2 minutes. I think we can handle it.
Yeah, now there's like a Twitter quote tweet battle with Mudahar.
Oh, what's going on?
Who's he fighting with?
Me?
Oh.
Yeah, so that's happening right now.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And it's like, yeah, he's gonna fucking roast me because it's like I'm low-hanging fruit to these people.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. This is like very funny. Okay.
Yeah, he brought up the Catboy Ranch stuff, and I just said, I'm sorry getting the surgery deprived you of being able to ride my dick. The server's still up, and I linked the Catboy Ranch Discord, which is why the server got brigaded, but it's paywalled, which is really funny.
Yeah.
And then he brought up the lawsuit, and then he's like, well, you said you were doing a lawsuit. I'm not talking about the Human Rights Tribunal. That's not a civil lawsuit. It's like, the reason I went through the Human Rights Tribunal is because I want the police to change policy, which you can't do through a civil lawsuit. If I did a civil lawsuit, all I would get is money, and they would all be bitching and saying all I want is money. I want the police to have body cams. That's something you can do through the Human Rights Tribunal. That's not something you can do through a civil lawsuit. And he would know that if he actually understood the laws in his own fucking country.
It's also something that like your lawyer listed as a series of recommendations to you. Like it's something that you, in consultation with the lawyer that you're paying, made a decision on. And then the lawyer is the one who is doing all of the filing, going over everything involved with the tribunal on your dime because you're paying your lawyer. Shout out to Anus Man.
Also, do they not know how to like actually look at the GoFundMe and see what it said? Like, if I remember correctly, it didn't specifically say like lawsuit. It said legal action, and that can mean anything.
Yeah, it
But it
said
also included like moving expenses too.
Yeah,
like it
moving expenses and stuff like that. Yeah,
very
but they
broad
always ignore
GoFundMe.
that part of it.
yeah, it was pretty broad. I actually saw a lawyer before putting up the GoFundMe and had the lawyer
Yeah.
go over it to make sure that I was doing everything right with having a GoFundMe. I put in more effort than most people do with a GoFundMe when they usually just like put it up on a whim and don't think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, every press release went through a lawyer. I remember that. The GoFundMe went through a lawyer. Yeah, every instance of going forward with legal action went through a lawyer. A lawyer was critical for you to get like your computer back from the police. Like it's like I don't think they remember or care. I mean, they primarily don't care, but like all the parts of the process here, that lawyers are expensive, that moving to multiple hotels and then moving internationally is like expensive. Like these are all expenses, and they were all accounted for in the GoFundMe statement, which did not say the word lawsuit, right? It was designed to provide justice, which both included a legal defense against whatever charges the police may bring against you, which thank God they didn't, and also to seek justice against the police in a proactive sense, right? Like, so it was like a fairly broad mandate. It also included a bunch of stuff that like you did end up doing that's like pretty expensive. They also don't realize like the lawyers are very involved in a lot of the stuff that you were doing. I don't know, man. It's very like annoying to like, yeah, now there's only two options. You either pay a lawyer $100,000 to file a civil lawsuit, and that's the only thing it can be used for, or you're doing a bunch of cocaine. Those are the two things that you could do with that money.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say because I've already been over this like 100 times. And at this point, I'm just like, I've addressed it all. It's all in my content. People can go seek it out if they want. I'm just going to be indignant if they bring this shit up again. Like with the Catboy Ranch libel. It's like, I've already addressed this 100 times. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, why the fuck why would I take it seriously?
It's like just coming up again. Yeah, it's so stupid.
There becomes a point when like you've addressed something so many times that you just kind of like it's not even worth engaging with it any further. So yeah, I think that's honestly like the best approach is you've already said your piece on it. You've already kind of stated your position. There's no point in continuing to relitigate it over and over again.
Yeah.
Anyway, that Discord message where you said you were a pedophile.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over that. I'm just like replying to Muda again, and then I'm going to stop looking at Twitter for the rest of this. I just didn't expect this to come up around the time the stream started.
It was literally right before the stream started.
The only reason you're doing this is because you got dragged for supporting Kiwi Farms during the campaign to have the site deplatformed.
I would never have guessed that you use Grammarly by the way that you type and tweet.
Really? Well, yeah, because I actively ignore it most of the time. But sometimes there's a word I forgot how to spell, and it's like, oh yeah,
sometimes?
that's how. Sometimes.
It happens.
I mean, you've seen her text. It happens a lot.
Yeah, true. She'll like message me something, and I'm like, I don't know if she's just like pushing random characters to get my attention, or if like it's a typo. I don't know.
And she'll like blaze right past it too. She does not care.
Yeah, now I'm just like rechecking my thing during a stream.
Jeez.
You can make your rumor mill drama slop, but I know where you are getting there. Perfectly
Chat,
sourced.
appreciate this. We're looking into the process of genius.
Jeez.
Perfect.
All right, now you got to close Twitter.
Now I have to close this shit. Okay. Let's see. Where were we? Bad Empanada.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to laugh at his video.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah. Shit. Where'd it go?
For the YouTuber
Okay.
Keffals, who has been enthusiastically defending Vorsh, another YouTuber who was recently outed for being a pedophile who has lolly porn, aka drawn child porn, on his computer, has decided to engage in clear and obvious defamation against me, making a video where she includes false screenshots that insinuate that I am a pedophile, in a video where she tries to claim incessantly that it's wrong to falsely accuse people of being pedophiles, while defending Vorsh, who is a confirmed—
See, I hate that. I fucking hate this. I hate when people use this hypocrisy argument for me when they start off by falsely accusing people as pedophiles. Like, how is it hypocritical if I throw it back in your face if you start off by falsely accusing someone else of being a pedophile?
In their brain, it's not false, so it's different, and because it's different, it's not hypocritical. It's very good brain work. It's genius level stuff.
I don't understand pedo hunting. It's just fucking weird.
Yeah,
It
there's
is,
like
and
this crazy like unhinged obsession with it. Like, don't get me wrong, like I'm obviously in favor of like legitimate like child predators being exposed, but like it's gotten to the point where we've really lowered the bar for what makes someone a pedophile. And I think it like actually is a slap in the face to actual victims of legitimate child predators.
Yeah, because like I
Yeah,
remember growing up watching To Catch a Predator. And in those cases, it was people who were like seeking out children to have sex. But on the internet in recent years, all of the pedo hunting stuff has just been like someone maybe accidentally liked lolly on their Twitter timeline or something once.
Or
Yeah.
like you tweeted something that looks like you might be flirting with like a minor who you didn't even know was a minor, and also you weren't flirting, but like that's enough now.
Yeah, pretty much. It's really insane. It doesn't take much to label someone a pedophile these days.
pedophile because he literally had drawn child porn on his computer. I think that's pretty fucking disgusting. On top of the other thing she said about me, which was accusing me of accusing all trans people of being pedophiles, which is not true. What I said is that there is a large amount of trans people in her and in Vorsh's community who like to fall back on their trans identity in order to defend disgusting—
I feel like you don't even need to mention that they're trans. You could just say there's a large amount of people in these communities.
Yeah, it's really telling that he felt the need to mention the trans part.
That, and like he was very clearly being like very loose with like how he was referring to people, because he just like he mentions transness a lot and then he says these people, and it's like I don't know, man, like you should be mad at yourself if that's not what you meant, because that's very clearly what you communicated.
The way that he said that originally.
Yeah.
Being told that Twitter's fucking up again and the image isn't actually showing up on my tweet.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that.
I don't know
Yeah,
why that keeps fucking happening.
That's very weird.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh well. Okay. Let's get back to it.
things, such as Vorsh's pedophilia, which is something that Keffals does. Unlike her, though, I don't have to make fake screenshots, because she has outright admitted that she's a pedophile and a racist when she thinks that no one's looking. It's right here in this DM, 100% authentic. She's also talked about how she likes to pretend that the people who
the context behind this is like really stupid, because it was Solio deciding to leak the mod signal chat, and I don't even remember the context of why I know I was making a joke in reference to something. I'm pretty sure it was like in reference to people calling me a pedophile. I don't know though.
Well, I think at the time they were also like calling you racist, right? Like that was like the deal. That was like the big deal. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh, let's combine these two accusations, right? Because it'd be funny.
Yeah, because 2022, it was all Catboy Ranch libel and then calling me racist.
She has sex with are preteens. So if you want to come at me with clearly faked DMs about me, accusing me of being a pedophile, it would probably be pretty good for you if you didn't have real DMs where you outright admit to being a pedophile. Keffals, real name
Admit.
Clara Sorrenti. As I said in that
Damn,
Got him.
George Janitus really got me there.
Oof, it's
that she
Jover.
included in her video and intentionally mischaracterized, her entire thing is to just be a disgusting racist, pedophile defender, basically someone who defends the indefensible constantly. And then when you respond to her, she just responds saying, oh, but come on, I'm a marginalized trans person. How can you say that to me? She always tries to make it being about trans people somehow, being about transphobia. Doesn't matter what you're talking about. If she's wrong, if she's doing something heinous, her go-to response is always, well, I'm trans. How dare you say this? How dare you be transphobic? I don't give a fuck if you're trans. What I care about is that you're defending a pedophile. Vorsh, real name Ian Kaczynski, a certified pedophile who sexually
Real
attracted
name
to
is really
drawn images
important
of
to him.
minors. What I'm worried about is
I
that
don't
you have admitted
understand
in
his
real
deal.
DMs, not in fake ones, that you are sexually attracted to children. Keep in mind, her real name is Clara Sorrenti. Just so that you know who to avoid, just so that you know who to keep your kids.
I think what he's trying to do is like the libs of TikTok thing.
Wait, he's trying to be a stochastic terrorist?
I think that's honestly it, yeah. But he's probably not very successful at it, but like some of the actual tweets that he made were telling people to go do mass shootings in New York City subway stations. I'm not even joking.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's what he was saying. Well, I mean, he also wasn't successful at that, so I don't know why he thought he'd be successful at this.
Kids away from. We're not even getting into the fact that she abused her ex. We're not even getting into the fact that she spent at least part of the money, $100,000+ that was donated to her, supposedly for legal fees, not on any sort of legal action, but instead on cocaine. That is who Keffals is. A self-admitted pedophile racist. That's all there is.
That's so true. I'm always saying this. It's a hard job. How do you think I can afford the cocaine?
Gosh.
But seriously, like, what do you say to this shit? It gets so ridiculous, and like it goes through the rumor mill like with so many iterations, and it gets like slightly different every time to the point where it's like I don't even remember where these things originate.
It's like playing telephone, basically. Like every time somebody new touches the story, it like they add shit onto it.
Is to say. Always projection with these people.
Yeah, even his comment, I was looking through his comment section on that, and it's like even his fans are actually kind of pissed at him for this one. Because for whatever reason, some of his fans expect him not to be petty, which is just like, have you like been aware of who Bad Empanada is for the last several years?
Yeah, I've only became aware of him. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I wonder if there's like a disconnect with the people who like watch his video essays and then like tune into his streams for the first time or whatever, because like his video essays are like very thorough, very well researched, which is not to say that they can't also be petty. Like I think his Christopher Columbus one went after Know Nothing a lot in a personal way, but like a lot of people just kind of expect based off of like, oh my god, this is like a really well researched video essay on the history of the term genocide that like really I think reveals a lot about the way that we treat, you know, war crimes and stuff like that. And you're like, okay, cool, that's cool. What's this next video? Oh, he just like hates this person online. What the fuck? What am I doing here? So like maybe that's like some people, because like that's how I first heard about him, was like watching these video essays about him like debunking this historical thing or talking about, you know, like the history of Shining Path in Peru. Like, oh, that's like an interesting thing. It's been like a long meme in online leftist spaces that like Bad Empanada on Twitter and Bad Empanada, the video essay creator, are completely different people, and you shouldn't treat them like the same people. And now it's like bleeding in that like his deranged Twitter shit is now his video content. And I can see why fans who haven't been tuning in very closely are like, hey, what the hell is this shit? That's crazy. Talk about like the history of the Nakba or whatever. What is this? I don't know.
It's weird. It's like there's such a disconnect in these online leftist spaces where people want to take themselves super seriously and talk about real issues, but they can't help themselves but get dogged down in drama. But it always kind of like pisses me off in a way because like they're also not honest about it. Like I'll be honest, I get in the, you know, I get in the dirt. I really get messy with the drama. I think drama can be really fun. It's also incredibly stressful. I'm getting roasted alive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like-
it's like it's really easy to like get wrapped up in the shit to the point where like it gets like too far. Like, yeah, it's a tough balancing act to cover it in a way that's like fun without getting yourself into a position where you end up getting overwhelmed. It's difficult.
Yeah, no,
I can't speak to that. I'm just a football guy.
Stick to your football. If I can give you any advice, stick to your
Yeah.
football.
I wanted to show you all this because I found this recently. This was how Ethan Klein got banned from Meta VR for
Wait, what?
yeah, because he was simulating sex acts with Dan in front of kids.
Wait, what?
It sounds like it sounds a lot more insane than when you actually watch it, because when you actually watch it, it's goofy as fucking VR, but that is what happened.
Right, because there's
So
like a bunch of like, because Ethan's just like fucking around, right? But there's like kids,
Yeah, there are
like
kids
in the virtual space with them.
watching.
Okay, yeah.
You're here in the
Yeah.
plaza.
And I see you have it pulled up
Anybody
on
here-
your stream, but it's not on the screen share where we could see it.
Huh. Guess I'll fix that.
Yeah, if you just drag the tab into the window you're screen sharing, that should do it.
Why is it not working? Oh wait, I can fix this by just sharing the actual screen instead of the window. That should work.
I don't think audio plays through that way though. But
Does
we'll
it?
see.
Tell me.
Here work for Meta. Anybody?
Okay, it worked.
anybody
Cool.
employee here?
Sweet.
Let me start here, Dan.
Okay, all right.
May I grab your?
Are you going to harass me?
Yeah, I mean, there we go. A little of that, right? I mean, you don't mind, do you?
Dang.
Excuse me, we're having a private moment. A little of this.
Oh, my bad, my bad. Oh my god.
What do you think?
I'll let you guys do your thing.
Little of
You know
this.
what? I have a different idea how to watch. I know how to watch them.
A little reach around.
secretly.
You want to reach around
Like there are kids around.
sides?
You can literally hear their
Little reach
voices.
around
Oh
here.
my god.
You like one? You like a finger in the butt, Dan?
Oh.
Write that down.
Oh my god.
Can't be doing that with kids around, man.
It's just really
It's crazy.
weird.
What is
How
going
long
on?
ago was this?
This was I think this was like 2 years ago.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I never knew about this.
Dan,
guys?
you like this?
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's cool.
Buddy, you're
What?
sexy.
You like this, bro?
Oh, mama.
Bro, you like this?
Kids, bro. Yes.
Oh.
Wait, there's kids here.
Laugh it up.
Hey.
Laugh it up, everybody.
But I think
There's kids here.
I think I got banned already. What?
Yeah, see ya.
That was so fast. There wasn't even a mod.
Jeez.
How did they know? Yo,
How
a
did
guy
they
removed me.
know?
We removed you from violation of the conduct in VR.
Oh my
How
god.
did they know?
Who snitched?
Ripped my account.
Which one of you motherfuckers
I-
snitched?
I knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah. Yo,
They
just
have
tell
guides?
Dan. Just tell him we were having fun. There's no victim in that.
Hey, everybody. Sorry about that. Sorry you had to see that.
No,
That was my
you-
boss, Ethan. He was just doing a little,
That was
little
my
gag,
boss.
you know.
No, tell him.
Tell him
you
it's
liked
an
it.
old-timey joke.
It's an old-timey joke.
Tell him.
Say
Tell him.
bingo.
You
You
liked
know what
it,
I mean?
bro.
So I apologize for his behavior. I hope
No.
nobody was too offended by that.
Work
and
with him.
yeah, was a pleasure.
It's
Pleasure to see you
crazy
all.
to turn like
So
to
are
be
you
in the
banned, or are you
metaverse,
like
like turn
banned?
around at a
No.
group of kids,
Unless you
just
wanna
be like,
I'll
"I'm
take
sorry
that
for what
one
my
on, get
boss
banned.
did."
Well, were you just bopped from this room, or were you like banned?
Banned.
So whichever one of you banned him, appreciate
Shame on
that.
you.
Shame on you.
You have a 2-hour suspension.
From the whole world. All right, Dan.
Ethan, I've made a lot of friends.
I know. I see you're having a good time. I'm gonna step off. Have fun, Dan.
Hey, what's up, man?
God, I found like a whole bunch of weird shit recently. Just like, cause I haven't watched H3 for like, they put out a lot of content. and have for years.
Mhm.
There's just so much that I didn't know about. Like for instance, I just found out one of their sponsors is Gamer Sups, and they sell this, the Waifu Cups S51 Pillow Talk. When someone talked to Gamer Sups customer service, they said, "Do you guys have any lolly cups?" And they said, "Hey, we did, but it's currently out of stock, and we will never restock."
Oh.
Which ones were they, and why won't you get new ones? Pillow Talk. This is not confirmed yet if we will have more, but you may look forward to it.
No.
Okay.
That
All
looks terrible.
It's pretty bad. It's like you could have bought your lolly cup using the H3 code at checkout. Like, Jesus Christ.
That looks so bad. Like, it's one thing if like if they corrected them, like, we don't sell lolly, but like we do have anime, if that's what you're talking about. But no, it's just like we don't have those anymore, but we may restock them at some point.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently,
Jesus.
yeah, why I named the stream what I did is because people in the H3 subreddit are actually, they're mad. A lot of them are really disappointed right now because Ethan isn't being consistent. Like the stuff with Chris Tyson came up, and he basically hand waved it away and said, "Oh, maybe time, she grew and changed over time." And it was only 3 years ago that she bought lolly art from Shadman.
Like the most notorious lolly artist
He's
on
like
the
the
internet.
CEO of pedophiles. He's like the most known one online.
Yeah, like this guy has a long history of doing like really fucked up art. Like obviously you've mentioned the stuff that he did about like Keemstar's daughter. There's like famous like child actors that he's done really inappropriate art of. Like this guy is fucking disgusting.
And it's like his whole deal. It's like his whole deal. And so like, yeah, I mean, you're just buying custom art from this guy is like subsidizing the creation.
Yeah, so
of
like this
child
is
porn.
a Twitter archive from Chris Tyson's account because the original tweet is original tweet's obviously gone. Shout out to Shadbase for having safe for work drawings today. Accidentally pulled up his website on stream.
Yo, I did not know about this. That's
Yeah, that was April
Yeah, that's
16th,
pretty bad.
2019. I don't care that it's in 2019. The thing that
But
I'm
also,
most
like, the thing is, like, if someone like grows and changes as a person, like, you need evidence of that. Like, I think that the thing that really gets me with like, oh, that was like kind of a little bit ago, is that like no one ever like says that we have like evidence that this person has grown. We just assume with the passage of time that they're a better person now. And like, why are we assuming that? This is the most recent information we have about this person. Like, why are we doing that? And it wasn't that long ago. It was 2019.
Well, that's the thing that's also pissing me off. It's like there's no consistency in how they're treating the situation. They're
oh, go ahead.
No, Ethan is trying to pretend that this is like an issue of justice, and it's obviously not, because he's not willing to apply the same level of scrutiny to Chris Tyson, who he is defending despite all of this coming out. And that's why people in his community are turning on him.
See, initially I was willing to be like charitable to Chris Tyson, right? Because it's like, okay, maybe they got the art and they weren't familiar with this guy's past. Because like the original tweet a lot of people were talking about was like from 2017 or whatever, right? So okay, maybe they didn't know. But we're now seeing this tweet from 2019 where they're shouting out Shadbase. Like, I'm sorry, it was like more than well established at that point. There's no excuse at this point. Like, yeah, he should absolutely be condemning Chris.
That, and like the bigger issue, right, is the inconsistency with which Ethan is approaching things, right? Like, so like the thing with Korra, right, from Avatar, the thing with that is not like, hey, you found this drawing of Korra to be attractive, you're a pedophile. It's when you say that this drawing is of a child and a person couldn't tell because of the way that they're drawn, you're not applying that standard to yourself, right? Like, the fact that you have the ability to wave that one away, but then castigate somebody else for having the exact same argument is a moral inconsistency, right? And you will not approach that. You just double down. You're like, well, yeah, Cora's hot. And it's like, okay, that's not really the argument here. The argument is that this person who's drawn like an adult that you find attractive is canonically not an adult. And for whatever reason, that doesn't matter to you now, but it matters to you when you're fighting with like Vosh or whatever, right? So like that's like the issue, right? Is that like we keep on finding this inconsistency. Oh, Chris Tyson subsidized lolly porn in the past. Well, that was the past, right? Like,
what really
man.
frustrated me? Like one thing that I was seeing from the H3 fans on this was that they were uncomfortable. They were uncomfortable seriously considering whether or not that this was legitimate because Chris Tyson is trans. While they were actively mocking me for my arguments about why you shouldn't just pedo jacket trans people.
Yeah, it's fucking like insane.
It's just no consistency.
But yeah, at this point, like it's indefensible. Like I said, for like Chris, I was willing to be charitable before, but like it's indefensible at this point. Like there's no excuse for this.
Yeah, and it's like there's so much. Like I found 2 different clips of Ethan. One of his reaction to Alinity and the other one was his reaction to Belle Delphine.
I mean, yeah, what do you think about her outfit here? I mean, I would see people wearing that every day. But yeah, I mean, it's just a little something for the kids.
Obviously,
it increases their views.
It increases views.
Yeah. The swirly
He just like said like Alinity showing her tits is just a little something for the kids. Oh,
God.
And then Belle Delphine.
We have kitty porn for some reason.
Hold on.
Porn for some reason.
Obviously,
it increases their views.
It increases views.
Yeah. The swirly just reminds me of kitty porn for some reason. But that works for her because she does try to look as young as possible.
Yeah. The swirly. Because the swirly is a reference to like Mr. Swirl, like the notorious child predator. He used like a software to make his face swirly.
Wow.
And they were able to catch him by like doing insane math in order to like decrypt the algorithm that swirled his face.
I did not know anything about this
at all.
I know.
No, this is new to me.
See, I knew about this because I like true crime content.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It's a typical white woman.
But no,
behavior,
Belle
basically.
Delphine was he's like obviously pedo baiting. That was her entire thing.
Yeah, and that's what he goes on to say, right? Yeah.
Well, that's kind of
gosh.
This girl's been wearing braces for like 10 years. She always wears braces to look as young as possible, and I was thinking, I think braces for her is like the grill version of, rappers wear grills. I think that's like the grill version for little hentai girls.
For little Twitch thoughts.
She's got like gold-plated braces and shit, like diamond-encrusted braces. Sick.
Well, Keem, I guess, had a situation where someone drew his daughter, and so this is personal to him. So
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So what Keem said, and I didn't know this.
I didn't know that.
Somebody, an artist that I guess Vosh is friends with, drew CP of Keem's daughter.
Disgusting.
That's what he said. Now, Keemstar is not a reliable reporter. We would need a third party, but that's what he said. And that
Didn't
Vosh is,
I don't remember this controversy super well, but didn't Shad say that?
Wait,
like,
what did...
he's saying, well, we don't know for a fact that it was Keem's daughter because it's Keem's word, but it's like, I'm pretty sure it was like universally agreed upon that it was supposed to be, right? This was like not a statement that was ever in contention, from my understanding.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Keem's daughter. Keemstar was holding her in the picture.
Okay, yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it was like this was a big
very obvious.
controversy at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking hate the internet. Absolute mistake.
It's so fucking horrible.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
It's just like openly friends with this person
Mm.
who's a known lolly artist.
Yeah, I'm gonna rewatch the video now because I saw it right before we went live, but I wasn't sure if he said Bosch's friend or Tipster's friend. But
Oh,
it may have
true.
been
Okay,
I'll
good.
confirm.
Good.
Okay, so just to clarify, there was an artist that drew some lolly that supposedly Chris.
See, this is what fucks me up about it. Ethan brought this up himself organically as an argument on why you should condemn Vosh as a pedophile. And then he dismisses it immediately when he finds out, no, that's Chris Tyson who was friends with Shadman, not Vosh.
Yeah. Yeah, it very much reveals the inconsistency.
And then immediately goes on, I like her, I've met her. And it's like, he also liked and met Belle Delphine, who had collaborated with Shadman multiple times. In fact, if you go to Shadman's Twitter account, his profile banner is Belle Delphine wearing a Shadman mask.
Interesting.
Yeah.
From Mr. Beast's crew shared that same artist drew Keem's daughter.
Oh, it's got nothing to do with Vosh or Tipster or anything?
So it was all.
I heard him say that they were friends.
Yeah, no, he kind of links it all.
Okay,
together.
whatever. We're
Yeah.
talking the Keemstar Vortex.
Yeah,
I don't care about any of this shit.
Yeah, of course. Now you don't care.
Doesn't care.
It doesn't involve the people that I'm trying to target here, so it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, no, I'd be okay with him continuing his crusade as long as he's consistent. I just wanted to see him apply this straight across the board and either give everyone the same treatment or stop giving like certain people preferential treatment where some people are allowed to be sussy as fuck and others aren't.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that it's like more than warranted at this point to at least take a second look at what's going on with Chris. Because like as far as I know, Chris hasn't publicly addressed this at all. The only addressing it I'm aware of is that the YouTuber Jalen reached out to them to ask them about it, and they claimed that like them posting the art on Twitter was like a bit.
That's a lie. Why would I accidentally opened your site on stream? Glad it was safe for work. Like, it's too much to be a bit, and it was going for years. Like the tweets,
exactly. Where you fund a lolly artist who, by the way, as Joanne mentions in chat, is also a Nazi, right? Like just funding a lolly Nazi artist, like is just part of the bit. I'm just gonna pay for custom art. It's part of the bit. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild. Like I said, me personally, I was willing to be charitable, but now that I know that we've got a tweet as recently as 2019 where they're still talking about Shadman.
That was when the art was posted, 2021.
I thought that was 2017.
No, they're lying. The tweet started in 2017, and she apologized for the tweet. She never apologized for the Shadman art. She never talked about accidentally opening Shadman's porn site on stream.
Jesus Christ.
You're saying
you know
that making it to lolly tweet was 2017.
I have no problem conceding my point on Chris Tyson now. Like, fuck that shit.
Also,
there's more than enough evidence at this point to say no.
Also, some people are trying to drama frog this, and I am aware that Ethan's father was 16. Ethan's father was 20 when his mom was 16 when they got together and when they were having sex. But I also think that's not really relevant to litigate. Like, what do you do with that information?
Yeah,
it's not
like,
Ethan's
what's
fault.
Supposed to do about it? Yeah,
that's sus, but it's not his fault.
Yeah. God. Yeah, it's like, I mean, like, obviously, as you were attempting to like pull out of doing drama content and then seeing your friend get kind of just pulled in with like one of the worst things that you can be accused of.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
I wanted to retire from this. I didn't want to be doing this anymore.
It's my fault. I'm sorry.
Well, there was like, I was upset the whole day when I saw that Vosh was getting dragged by Ethan, and then you started getting dragged by Ethan. And then I was like, okay, now two of my friends are fucking in the shit. It's time to enter the shit.
Right.
Yeah, I honestly, like, I felt genuinely bad that so many people who, like, actually give a shit about me. Like they got dragged into this shit. It was never my intention. I literally just put out a tweet. It was the most softball tweet, and then I went to bed and I woke up to chaos. And I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck?
Ethan sympathizing with pedophiles on How to Catch a Predator. What?
Sometimes they show like a really awkward, let's say 25-year-old.
Yeah.
He's like super autistic, super. The guy's never
What?
fucked. He's never had a kiss. He's never interacted with a girl. And then he's going to meet a 16-year-old who is flirting with him like ridiculous, over the top flirting. This guy's.
I'm being told audio low. Let me fix this.
Sometimes they show like a really awkward, let's say 25-year-old.
Yeah.
He's like super autistic, super. The guy's never fucked. He's never had a kiss. He's never interacted with a girl. And then he's going to meet a 16-year-old who is flirting with him like ridiculous, over the top flirting. This guy's never received attention like this before.
Mhm.
And he shows up to her house. This is probably a fringe example, but I'm sure stuff like this has happened on that show. And then he shows up to this house.
What? Is he saying like the kids let them all? Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I don't really watch To Catch a Predator, but like that's my understanding of the show is that like that's not the framework of the show, right? They just have people pretend to be kids and wait for people to solicit them, and then they respond, right? Like just messaging like random 25-year-olds on AOL. Like, what is that? How he thinks the show goes? Like they have to try and find these people.
This desperate, pathetic soul. And then it's like, then the whole song and dance happens. And I'm just not sure.
Whole song and dance.
It's deserving. He's deserving of all of that.
I disagree.
Thanks,
guys.
She cooked. Jesus Christ.
I'm so glad that clip included Hila's reaction. That's so much funnier.
Yeah, there's also the the Patrice Wilson stuff, which I haven't even like started digging into that. I want to, before I like actually say this with confidence, the narrative that I have seen going around, Patrice Williams was Rebecca Black's producer who got accused of being a pedophile by Ethan Klein. The rumors were unsubstantiated. It ruined his reputation. He tried to kill himself, and then he just kind of faded off from the public.
Yeah, because he used to produce music for like a lot of like younger people. There was a lot of like music videos he did and stuff, basically trying to jumpstart the careers of a lot of like kids and younger folks. And I will say this, there was some questionable stuff in this guy's music videos that he did. But yeah, Ethan kind of did like a whole stream segment or like podcast segment on him and like was just like outright calling him like a pedophile. And then after that, he just kind of vanished from the internet.
Yeah, I remember the whole deal with this person, like when they were like producing, because like the thing was that he was running a scam. Essentially, it was that like rich kids, their parents would pay him to put their kid in a music video because that's what they really wanted, and then he would release this professionally, quote unquote professionally produced music video, and then he would take their money. And it just turned out that one of them, Rebecca Black, blew up. And so like the whole scam was exposed. So people were like levying like real genuine criticism about this. And then it just turned into, I guess Ethan was like, yeah, he's probably a pedophile. And it's like, no, he's like scamming rich parents. It's like, who among us, right? Like that's just like a crazy, like out of nowhere thing to just say. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to go to the bathroom. I don't know how to segue this.
Okay.
Just go to the bathroom and we'll
Yeah.
like hang
Yeah,
out with chat or
French
whatever.
Chat. Yeah, that's fine. Do you remember some of the songs from like that production company? Because I remember there's one about like Chinese food that was like really bad.
There was one that I remember called Skip Rope, and like Skip Rope had like a bunch of like adult references to like drug and alcohol use in it, and it features like a bunch of kids. And there's some really sussy parts where like the kids have like they're like those oversized versions of pixie sticks, and they're doing some very suggestive things with them. Yeah, it's not great.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty bad. I like my imagination is just that like this guy is like replicating the signifiers of successful pop videos and just putting the kids in those scenarios, which maybe I'm giving him too much generosity, but also again I think that he's a scam artist, so like how much generosity could I be giving him? But like I didn't see that one. I saw some of the other ones that were just like also bad, very formulaic. He wrote the songs, he auto-tuned the kids. I think he always did the break where he would just like in the middle of it he would rap. I didn't see the pixie stick stuff, so that's pretty nuts. But yeah, oh my god, there's apparently it was used for a bunch of YouTube poops back in the day. That makes sense. And then Camel Spider's asking me about my fight with the podium. Have you seen this, Tipster?
No, I don't know anything about that.
I'm like fighting a gimmick account on Twitter right now, or I was. It's an account that like corrects people whenever they use the word, "Hey, two dads smooching." I can't show you anything. I'm not in control of the stream. That's Clara. But no, it's a gimmick account that like corrects people whenever someone uses the word podium to mean lectern. And it's just like all it does is like quote tweets people like, "Oh, you mean lectern? Oh, you mean lectern?" A podium is like a raised dais or whatever. And they corrected me like 2 years ago, and I just saw them on my feed again. I just got so annoyed that I posted like the dictionary definition of podium, and it turns out it does include lectern. So I've just been fighting with a gimmick account for like all day. People are getting mad at them. People are getting mad at me. It's like one of the weirder things that I've had happen to me in this past week, which is significantly less weird than whatever's happened to you and Clara in the past week.
Oh my god!
But it's like it's fun. It's wholesome. I'm fighting this dude that thinks there's one definition of the word podium. I'd rather do that than thanks for posting, Camel. I'd rather do that than like talk about lolly porn or whatever.
Yeah, the situation, like honestly, it's anytime this conversation comes up online, like it just turns into like brain rot, because you have some people who like, don't get me wrong, like it's a conversation worth having, but at the same time, like I feel like some people like way overblow this shit. There's a lot of situations where like they could easily be attributed to stupidity or ignorance rather than malice, but like that's not the way the internet works. They always jump to the worst possible conclusion.
Yeah it's very frustrating.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm back.
Hey,
Welcome back.
Yeah, I got kind of thrown off. I didn't think that I would get called out by another like multi-million sub YouTuber right before starting this stream.
Yeah.
So Mudahar and I actually have a history. Like he fucking hates me. So like during the Drop Kiwi Farms campaign, he decided to side with Kiwi Farms, and he was getting dragged for it. And he decided that he was going to leave Twitter, saying that the site has become a toxic place because of getting dragged for backing Kiwi Farms. He joined the dog pile of people who made the false allegation that I threatened to bomb a Ukrainian data center.
Wait, what?
Oh, God.
Yeah, I looked into it, and that's what it was.
Interesting.
I've never heard that one. What?
Yeah, I can bring up the tweets.
Yeah, sure. What the fuck?
Yeah, I remember hearing about this one at the time.
Yeah, so it was like Willie Mac show. Liz Fong Jones posted the address to a Ukrainian data center, and I was in the middle of an email and phoning campaign.
Oh, okay. So the do your thing, and so they interpreted do your thing as like stochastic. Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
And then
Oh.
Mudahard in the replies, this looks like some insane personal crusade. Someone with a platform should have a degree of responsibility into the type of stuff they post.
I like that the very next comment is just transphobic. That's great. Okay, yeah, I think people just kind of forget like what the whole Drop Kiwi Farms campaign deal was, but like we would constantly submit reports to various data centers and whoever was hosting at the time, like different reports of the things that violated that server's like terms of service, and so that's how we got them booted off of so many different like providers, right? And so like that's the do your thing. Obviously, it's like we've always been finding ways to submit reports of ways that this website violates terms of service. That's so weird that people like just see the words do your thing and they're just like, oh yeah, this person clearly is talking about
They instantly jump
Yeah,
to like
well,
the
it's
worst
like
case
it's
scenario.
weird because it's for some reason people assume Mudahard's wholesome, but it's like he's one of the co-hosts on LolCow Live. They call the host the Farmers. They tried to pull me and Tipster into their show the other week, and it was right after they were attempting to get Joshua Moon onto the show. Like the owner
Yeah,
of
they
Kiwi
literally
Farms.
like talked about that like right before they like added us to that little group chat or whatever.
Yeah. So he's honestly just kind of had it out for me for well over a year. And I think that he sees now that a lot of the bigger progressive communities have had spats with me, he can just go in without any pushback.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And people just kind of assume that like the content creators that are generally centrist about stuff are like wholesome, and it's like that's not. There's no reason to believe that. Why would you think that? But like that's like the way that people approach a lot of content creators is like well, if they say they're a centrist or if they stay out of politics stuff, a lot of times people just assume that they're wholesome, and it's like no, this dude's a piece of shit. He's been a piece of shit.
Well, that's kind of like why I got a lot of pushback when I came out with my more like leftist progressive type positions is the fact that like it's actually a pretty common thing shared behind the scenes with creators that it's best not to talk about your politics for fear of alienating your audience. And yeah, I definitely experienced that firsthand where there was a lot of people who were conservative in my audience that as soon as I started speaking my mind, they took issue with it. So that's a pretty common thing where creators will specifically avoid speaking about their politics for that very reason.
Yeah, it's not because they're wholesome. It's because they want to make money. I mean, Michael Jordan said it. Republicans buy shoes too, right? Like,
Yeah, it just fucking threw me off. This whole thing has just been like, it fucking sucks being the small creator in this fight.
Yeah.
As I still want to go over what Ethan Klein had to say about my video. I know that he called me a dumb bitch, and I know that he didn't finish watching the context because the Bosch's Context Emporium uploaded a new video from the H3 podcast.
Oh my god. There was also like a section where he briefly insinuated that you were anti-Semitic because you said that he just cares about making money.
Wait, seriously?
What?
Yeah, that actually happened. He commented on the fact that you said that he just cares about making money, and he's like, that's kind of anti-Semitic.
I fucking love him. He's like, oh, you're weaponizing your trans identity anyway. Like, come on.
If I'm going to give him some charitability, I think that he's attempting to demonstrate what it looks like when you weaponize your identity. I think that's the best faith. I didn't watch it, right? So I don't know. But that's like the best faith interpretation. Is
well,
like,
he did that to Vosh too.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I see even Velvet in the chat is saying, yeah, he did say that. Yeah. I remember hearing that and I was like, bruh, like, I know Clara well enough to know, like, that is nothing could be further from the fucking truth. Like,
okay, I'm not gonna lie and say that I've never weaponized my identity, but I usually only do it when I'm in a fight with woke scolds who really care about identity politics.
Yeah, on people it works on, yeah.
Yeah, you need to like collect up all your different oppression tokens and then put them all on the table and then be like, look, I have more than you, I win.
Yeah.
It's like
I've
people
stopped
who
doing
think
it. I
that
lose
like
all the
more.
time, man.
It's like people who think that like more Twitter likes means more right. That sort of thing.
It's like using
Right,
your
yeah.
ult in Overwatch.
God.
No, my oppression chips have like really lost their value since 9/11. It's been too many years since I get to play that card that much. Well, I get called new slurs now, so there's like a renewal of anti-Muslim racism. So maybe I've got some more cachet coming in. But for now, it's like the only card I get to play. It's tough. It's tough out here.
Yeah. Oh, fuck you, Tipster.
I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry. I didn't mean for any of this to happen.
I wanted out. I was so
You
close.
pulled me back in.
I was so close. And now
No,
I
look.
have to watch out for like the fucking Catboy Ranch movie by Mudahar.
I want to be serious for just a brief second. I genuinely didn't expect any of this to happen when I made that tweet, and I am legitimately sorry that it blew up into this. I never wanted this for anybody.
Well, I also didn't assume that Ethan would do this because I thought that this was like a thing that he was like, this was in his past. I knew he used to do this kind of shit before because I was like,
Right.
I was friends with John Sakars, who the vegan vagina guy, like I knew him locally, and his claim to fame was getting shit on by Ethan Klein for being cringe.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, this whole thing really spiraled into like just insanity.
Yeah, now everyone's like, the what? Yeah, the vegan. Okay, I have to.
This is old.
It's
Keppels
so
lore.
old.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's so irrelevant to what we were talking about, but like, okay, I'll play it. It's really cringe.
Rip
Like,
neutral,
I'll
by the
play
way.
Ethan. I'll do John Sakar's H3 reaction. This is 9 years old.
Oh my god.
I don't even think I've seen this, and I used to be an H3 fan back in the day.
Woo! Guys, I'm stinking today in a real nice way. But it's not because I didn't use your deodorant or anything like that. I actually wanted to stink today because I have a really special guest. He's a vegan, and he's not into this kind of, conventional things like deodorant or showers. This video is entitled, "This Vegan Wants to Lick Your Vegan Pussy." And that touched me. When I heard that touched me deep inside. Here's the culprit. He's got a bandana, so he's a little bit metal, he's a little bit edgy. Guy likes to get down with some dirty, greasy, unwashed vagina straight from the earth, man. Oils, old period blood. You want a big, hairy chia pet down there.
Jesus
This is the vegan who wants to lick your
What the
pussy.
fuck?
You must be at least 18 years old to watch this video, and you must also be a vegan. Carnists are not allowed to watch this video. Press stop right now. If you want to rape, torture, and murder my friends, then you do not get to watch this video. It is a special treat just for vegans. If you've seen some of my videos and you've heard me talk about how much I love vegan vagina.
It's so bizarre, like looking back at H3, the production quality change.
Mm-hmm.
Going
Yeah,
from
old
this
school
shit-
H3. Old school H3 was so weird because they would literally like Hila's behind the camera, just pointing the camera at the screen, and then she like pans over to Ethan for whatever commentary he gives.
Right.
Oh, good. What the fuck, dog? That's disgusting. Like, man, he doesn't waste any time. This is a treat, guys, for all you vegans out there. Do you feel treated yet? Do you feel like a little special little treat?
This used to be like
I want vegan
2014
vaginas.
John Sakars here.
This guy's an expert lip smacker. I can't even make it as loud as him when I'm trying.
Ladies.
Hello, vegan ladies. It's like a horse. Maybe he's been raping it, the one raping animals.
You have probably fantasized about me
Throwing it out there, yeah.
licking your vagina.
Mine.
What the hell?
Okay, you all get it now. We don't need to like relitigate John Sakars. We don't gotta do this.
Oh my god.
Or should we? I don't even know.
Yeah. Well, we could watch the Context Emporium clip where he cuts off at the end again. if you
Yeah.
want.
Let's start there.
You might have to turn up the volume on this one because it's like pretty quiet.
Okay.
So she continues to.
Holy
claim that we
fuck,
cut
that's
Vosh
quiet.
Out of context. Which
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so quiet. What the hell?
Context Emporium.
Why is
Step
it
up
so
your
quiet?
audio game.
So laughably silly at this point. Go ahead.
Presenting his audience clips from Bosch's streams that deliberately cut out very important content. Why are they putting ASMR sand over my video? Were they
said
afraid
that your little bobbing avatar was like annoying, so they put kinetic sand videos over it.
Another W for Keffals.
Oh yeah, they said that my the Wiggler is pedophilic.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they said it looked like a child, and I'm like, it's literally supposed to be her in a what is it, a guinea pig outfit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're like, that looks kind of like childlike and pedophilic or some shit.
Okay, at this point, like any reference to a child to them is proof of like pedophilia, right? Like you just cannot have anything that looks cute. You can't have anything that looks small. It's just all of it's pedophilia, right? Like that's the best way to be consistent about your goblin short stack take or whatever it was, right? So okay, sure, fine.
It's just so fucking stupid. It's like everything is just pedophilia. Like once you get onto this train of thought, it's like you are looking for ways to prove that someone is a pedophile, and that's fucking weird.
Yeah,
you gotta get like the little Wiggler avatar with like a suit now. You gotta make it look adult and professional.
Look,
this is
all
unacceptable.
I know is that I don't interact with children ever, and Ethan does every day. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not implying
that's all
anything.
we're putting out there, right? Yeah.
Oh God.
This is a clip that Ethan Klein played on his show to prove that Vosh is a pedophile.
Here's
Funny pot in our chat.
It's funny because people go, "Oh, he's taking." I got one of like 1,000, but go on. Out of context, but listen what he says.
Consistent. Yes, 100%. Listen very carefully to the exact language that I use.
Listen very carefully as I express myself articulately and clearly as I possibly can.
I've yet to hear a convincing moral or legal argument as to why possession of child pornography should be illegal.
That was pretty bad, right? Yeah, no sand.
Oh, she is really dumb.
Yep. Now they're platforming it.
Real, man. So like, the only reason people will come and like this, it's like
She then plays his video for context.
Yeah, let's see what's
Let's
the
watch.
context.
Yeah, watch. Watch.
Immediately after that clip was played,
Yeah.
which was not shown on Ethan's stream.
Wrong stuff. It should be 100% legal. In fact, and this is going to be a real hot take, I have yet to hear a convincing moral or legal argument as to why possession of child pornography should be illegal. Actual child pornography. How's that for a hot fucking take? Now, to clarify on this take, as I feel it necessary to do so, we do not, in this country, typically criminalize people who have procured media or resources which were the product of abuse. It is not illegal to own necklaces that have slave diamonds or whatever. What are they called? Or blood diamonds? Yeah, all of our clothes produced by sweatshops, our computers, the silicon and lithium mined from literal fucking slaves. In our society, we have already deemed that people are not responsible for the mechanisms by which the media they consume and the content they engage with are produced. No.
Posh yells at chat for 57 seconds.
Right now.
I mean, I don't know how many times we can
We
express.
did talk
that we
about
know
this context,
exact-
though.
Why don't you just open up the next timestamp?
Is
Just
it
like
all
the
just
very next thing? Yeah.
the timestamp thing? Is this just their like method of clipping people out of context? Dan
I
just does
guess.
it, and Ethan goes in blind, so he has authentic reactions. Meanwhile, Dan knows he's being a manipulative person.
God.
I feel like that's kind of the setup, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe.
like that seems to be the way that, unless Ethan is like a pretty decent actor, which I don't know, maybe he could be, but it seems to be the way that they organize the show is that Dan sets up Ethan to succeed, and then Ethan.
Wait, they skipped over
attempts to follow
they
through.
skipped over the VTuber context completely.
Yeah, they skip over the YouTuber stuff. They skip over the end where Vosh says both of these things are bad. Which I just like, for the record, Vosh is very stupid, right? Like to organize his thoughts.
We
like
can
that.
all agree that, like, absolutely, these were the most horrible fucking analogies to use to make his point. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, when he does his response video, he uses a much better analogy involving like bricks or whatever. Basically, he says like, so if somebody